This is my setup to replace the motor mounts. So I have 2 blocks of wood on the side to protect the gel coat, a L-shaped metal bar to mount the winch, a half-ton rated winch, which is suitable for the Forge H57 model, and then I have a 2-ton strap connected to both engine mounts, engine lift points, and then it's crossed in the middle where it connects into the winch so that it will self-center a little bit when I'm raising it. And then I've ensured that the bar and winch are placed equidistant between the 2 mounts. So here, this mount here, and this mount here. So I want the center point across there so that I'm lifting the engine up, not to the rear, to forward, or to left and right. So I want it just to come up slightly. And I've already released the top nut just here on the top of the mount, so that as I'm raising I can tell when I've just released the pressure, but not going too high. And then I'm going to undo the mount from the floor and this bracket from the engine and release the mount and bracket as one assembly sideways. I've chosen to do this in the water because that's what I want to do, and I also am doing it this way so I do not have to disconnect the transmission from the sail drive. I will just remove the mount bracket, install the new mount and the bracket as needed, and here are the tools. First, the replacement mount. I'm not using the Yanmar OEM mount, I'm using the IsoFlex replacement mount, and I've got a 15mm to release the engine mount from the floor, a 17mm to release the 15mm to release the engine bracket from the engine, 17mm to release the mount from the floor, socket, an adjustable length socket for the top nut of the motor mount, which was very hard to get off, so this was very helpful, and some grease to grease all of the nuts and bolts and washers and things on the new mount. So the first step is actually to measure the height of your existing mount, and you will use this measurement to calibrate the height of your new mounts once they're installed. Now I've raised the engine visibly using the winch, and if I shake the engine you can see the mount is quite wobbly. So what I'm going to do is release those bolts back there for the bracket, and then these 2 bolts either side of the mount, and take it out sideways and reassemble with the new mount. I've also placed these 2 pieces of hardwood underneath the engine just in case it falls over, or if there's a big wave that the engine won't wobble around so much, and a bit of safety so the engine just won't fall and smash into the bottom of the boat. Now I've got all the bolts off the bracket and the mount, and I should be able to just slide it sideways out of the engine. Ta-da! Now I've got the new mount and bracket at approximately the same height as the old set, and I've greased it up, at least in the beginning. I'll go over it again with more grease once it's been fully installed and the height is calibrated. So I greased up all 6 of these threads. Not sure if I was meant to do that, but I did it because a mechanic told me that if you want to get the bolt out in the future, you should add some marine grease before putting the bolt in so they don't seize together. So that's what I did. Okay, now I have the new mount in. I measured it with the Venier calipers to the same reference points as I did before, which was this white flat part here to the underneath of this part here. Then I just added a bunch more grease all around the fasteners and bolts and fittings. Now to do the other 3. Starting the engine for the first time. Ready? to 2000. Now starting starboard engine.